It is so windy. Maybe 50-hour wind. Oh my goodness, and it's getting chilly, so I'm guessing we're going to be getting some really bad weather. I just left a networking event. I know I talk about those all the time. You guys are like my besties. I tell you guys everything now. But on a serious note, so this is one of those ones that you pay to go to, and it's at the fancy country club that's here in town in Sholo, and so I came to it and put my name in the little, when you come out the door, you drop your business card in there to win a prize or something like that. So I dropped my card in there, and I won a 2-minute spotlight where I get up and talk about my business. And these are the people that you want to be in front of, but anyway, so I went up right after the two women spoke. And I don't know what came over me, because remember, I've told you guys that I'm not very good at, well, in the past, let me not say that anymore, that was in the past, I was not very good at networking. I was just too introverted, and it just wasn't working out, and I just stopped going to them. But these days I've noticed that I've changed a lot, and I think it's just maturity and getting to the point where like you just kind of don't care what people think about you anyway. So I think it's just maturing. And so I've been doing very, very well with these networking events that I go to now. I talk to people and make connections, and even had a one-on-one meeting with another gentleman. We had lunch on Sunday. So but anyway, so when I got up there, I was just cracking jokes like I could not, it's a yeah thing. I don't know what came over me, but I was just like talking to these people like I've known them for a while. And it was just 2 minutes, so there's not a whole lot you can say in 2 minutes. But after I left, after I finished talking, and the guy who invited me, or at least told me about these things, he's high-fiving me and everything, and everybody kept coming up to me like, good job. So I'm leaving now, and almost at the door, walking out the door, and these 3 women ran up to me, like they were literally scurrying up to me, and they were like, oh my goodness, we have to introduce ourselves, we just love your energy, and that was just so amazing. But before that, how could I forget this part? So before that, I'm sitting there, and this lady walks up to me, and we got into conversations. It so happens that they're looking for an interior designer to help them with an office. And I won't get into the details of what we talked about, because it hasn't happened yet. So I just want to wait and see how it unfolds. But I was just like, these things are actually worthwhile going to. I'm telling you, it's not even just trying to get business, which is obviously what everybody goes there for, but it's just like I'm meeting people in the community, and I'm learning so much about these communities. And even so, there's another invitation I have that I'll be going to in March, and it's one of those things that I usually would take an invitation and probably don't go, but I'm just like, I'm just gonna go. They're building a whole new building for this Christian academy, and they're the architects and everybody's gonna be there, and I'm like, well, that's one to be rubbing shoulders with. So it's just amazing. But I don't know if you can hear the wind, guys. It is so bad. I mean, people lost power, because we lost power at the country club, and that's in Sholo. So I don't even know what's going on my side of town, even though I don't rely on power. But my little shed, you guys, my little bath shed blew over. Remember, in my last video, I was bragging that it didn't blow over. Well, now it did. I left it there. I saw it this morning. I went and I pulled it back up, and then it blew over again. So then my guys came to work on sheetrock, so I had one of them help me put it back up again, but he just like left it in the middle, and he put a big rock inside of it so it would kind of weigh it down a little bit, and he left it in the middle of the place. And I'm just like, I was already dressed, and I'm just like, I can't leave it like that, it's gonna blow over again. So guys, you should have seen, I should have turned on the camera, because you should have seen me all dressed up in my dressed up clothes, and jacket and everything, and my blazer and stuff, and it's black, and it's dirty over there, and I was just like shimmying it back into place. So it's not fully in the place where it was, but I got it really, really close, because I didn't want to get my clothes dirtied up too much. But yeah, it blew over, and I'm gonna have to work on the roof portion of it. So I don't have much hope that it's going to last. It may just be the end of it. which would be crazy because it wasn't expensive to buy. It was like $200 and something, but to get it assembled was another $200 and something. So I put $500 into that thing, and for it to blow over, it would be crazy. For me to like lose it would be crazy. So I'm going home now, and I'm gonna see if I can kind of secure it somehow. Maybe put some more rocks in there so it doesn't go. But I don't have much hope for the roof because the roof has started to lift up a little bit. So, but yeah, my little bath shed is probably gonna be gone. So let's hope, let's pray for my bath shed, you guys, so it doesn't blow away. And yeah, so like I said, I left the sheetrock guys there this morning, and I kind of brought it to their attention about the quality of the work, just so they continue with that in mind. Don't know if it changes anything, but Kevin, thanks Kevin for pointing that out, because I know you have that background, and as a designer I saw it too. But when you're picking your battles and that there's a remedy, that it's not going to, that's not the finished product. I think if it was something where it was the actual finished product, and what I'm talking about, guys, is the sheetrock job that it's not the best job, but I knew that it's not the finished product. So I was just like, you know what, there's a way to make this look better. So I just kind of these days I'm learning more and more to look at the big picture of things while still looking at the details, obviously. But it's one of those things where I know that even if they give me jacked up walls, my design skills can, like, that's what I do. I can make anything that's ugly look beautiful. And so it's just what Yah gave me as a gifting. And so I'm not pleased with it, but I wouldn't fire them at this point, And again, based on what I paid them, I didn't have a huge expectation that it was going to be the top of the line job. But yes, I will tell you that deep down inside, I wanted something else. I wanted something a little better, but we'll make it through that. It'll be fine. So thank you guys for always being concerned about my well-being and stuff. I really do appreciate that. It's just sometimes I have to kind of make those calls and be like, okay, am I going to pick this? Am I going to fight this battle, or am I going to just reserve my energy for the next battle? So it's kind of one of those things. So imagine having a propane tank on my property with 250 gallons of propane, and I still have to go fill up my little tankies for now because my cabin's not ready yet. Every time I begrudgingly throw the little 20-pound things in my car, and just begrudgingly, even though those people at Owens, they're so nice. I like going there. The little old guy that fills up the tanks, he's so sweet. Such a gentleman too. He's always like offering to bring it to my car for me, and I'm just like, no, I got it. But yeah, so that's where I'm headed right now, to go fill up my 2 tanks, because I want to make sure that I have enough for this crazy weather that seems to be trying to come forward here. So it looks like we're going to be getting snow as well, so I just want to make sure I have enough. I just went to Safeway as well, just to stock up on a few things. So I got some more rice. I know rice is not great for us, I know, but I'm a Jamaican. We eat rice with everything. I mean, we eat rice by itself sometimes, because when we cook rice in Jamaica, it is so nice and fluffy, right consistency. You can like literally eat it by itself, which we typically don't, but sometimes I do. But yeah, so headed to Owens right now. I love living here. I absolutely love living here. But I've discovered one thing about living here that I do not like. The wind. OMG. So I was just in Owens, and the guy just cracked up when I said this, but I walked in there and to pay for the propane, and I said, oh my goodness, I've lived in Jamaica and I've gone through some of the worst hurricanes ever, and they're nothing like this. Nothing like this. This is the worst. And he busted out laughing, because I guess he wasn't expecting me to say that, But this wind is crazy. I mean, people are losing power. He was telling me that they had to be tying down everything because everything's just like blowing over. It's crazier than I thought it was going to be. And it's been going on for a few days. So that's the other thing. So it's not just because, when you have a hurricane, in Jamaica, Florida, places that I've lived, and Texas, they all, wow, I moved to 3 places that are hurricane prone. What the heck? But usually with hurricanes, you just experience them for a couple of hours and then it's gone. And it's like nothing happened. Well, not counting the devastation a lot of times, but you know what I mean. This has been going on now for 3 days. This is day 3 of this heavy wind, and it's going to continue for the rest of the week. So, and probably even to next week. So, I'm not loving that. I'm not loving that at all. I mean, I knew to expect that. So it's nothing that's catching me off guard. But man, these winds are crazy. So yeah, thought I'd share that. All right, I know it's super windy, but there is my shower shed. So I don't know. The buckets that I used to wash and stuff, they were all over there. There's one still over there, but I refuse to go into that tree to go get it. It's like caught in a cluster of trees, and I refuse to go inside of that to get it. So there goes that bucket. But I was able to save 2 of them. The cover for my compost bin blew off, so I have it inside to put back on after all of this. But I don't know if that can be salvaged. So yep, so while it's raging, windy, raging outside, my sheetrock guys were here working. That was impressive that they came today and they were getting a lot done. Like I said, it's not the most perfect job I've seen, but can you hear that? That is just so crazy hearing the wind like that. All right, I'm gonna go back inside my little shed before I get stuck over here. I don't know if you can see it, you probably can't, but the little particles of snow or ice, let's see if any hits my hand. No, I just saw one there. So it's probably gonna start snowing soon. So my compost bin is gonna be full of snow. Y'all need to come get your wind. Oh my goodness. Listen, I grew up in Jamaica. I lived in Florida. I lived in Texas. And I've never seen wind like this. Now, on my homestead in Texas, just randomly, like when we have a hurricane, obviously there's wind. Now, when I lived in Texas, when I got my homestead, it was windy there and there were no trees to block the wind. But I've never seen it like this, where it goes on for days. Sorry, I'm just getting a pimple right there. But I've never seen it go on for days, because this has been like 3 days now. So I'm just like, okay, so now I know what people were talking about. Now, of course, I did my research and know that we get wind and stuff here, and know to nail stuff down. But there are a few things that weren't nailed down, because as you know, I'm in my temporary digs right now. So the table that I keep my panels on, which the panels were already off, they blew off this morning, but I didn't even pick them up because I'm like, they're just gonna blow off again. So I left them on the ground, and so the table itself turned over. And then all my little Home Depot buckets that I keep under it, I have a bunch of buckets that, you know, if I'm gonna go put stuff in the compost, like the little straw that I put in the compost bins, so I have a couple out there. Those blew away. So I'm like in my dress up clothes still, and I'm out there like searching for the buckets. So I found they were like all the way down where I don't venture too far down there, because that's where I heard the sound of the mountain lion, you know, so I don't venture very far down there. And so I was able to pick up a couple of them, pick up 2, there were 3 of them. I picked up 2 of them. Then there was one still, I could see it, but it was like, there was like a big tree blocking. I'd have to go like inside of the branches of the tree to get it. Well, one of them, I already did that. I went into the branches of the tree, but it was easy for me to get back out of that one. The other one, the last one, was, and I'm laughing about this because it's just so funny to me. But anyways, so the last one was in like a bigger tree, but it would be harder for me to get back out of the branches. I'm like, I'm not going in that thing. So my sheetrock guys are still here working. I went and I got him, and I'm like, can you please come and help me get my bucket? So he comes and he helps me to get my bucket and my funnel for my changing my oil. I didn't even realize that flew away as well. So he rescued that for me as well too. And there are a couple of, I'm sure there are other things that I just can't see that are further past, maybe past my property line. I was keeping all the little bottles, all of those are gone. I have no idea, because I mean, I weighed them down. I thought it would be fine. And they were tucked up underneath the table. So if the table stayed intact, they would be fine. But listen, I'm looking at, because I'm a member of some of the Facebook groups over here, and there's so many people talking about down trees and what else are they saying? I mean, just people are all talking about it, because I think it's caught people by surprise. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I was at a beautiful country club at my networking event, and they lost power. But some people are reporting 50, and I think it's somewhere between that 30 to 50 or so. But yeah, that's been interesting. And someone in their comments saying that, yeah, it continues till like it gets hot. So it's from spring, February to June or something like that. Somebody said. I was just like, oh, I didn't know that part. I mean, I knew that, I just thought it was more random than that. So it seems like it seems like it might be worse in some areas too, because, okay, so when I was out and about in Sholo area, it was windy for sure. But when I got down, as soon as I turned on my road, it was even worse. So it just looks like, it makes sense, because in Sholo there are the buildings and everything to kind of help block some of the wind. But over here, we're just kind of, and I'm glad I have the trees, because I can't imagine if there were no trees, how much more it would be. But the cardboard, all my cardboard that I'm saving for my garden, they seem to be still there. So, and I'm kind of happy that I have a chicken coop, which I've not done a video on that. I haven't showed that. It's a Vivor chicken coop that I bought, and it's like more of a chicken run, and it was like really cheap. I'm like, oh, I should get this. But then I realized that, oh, I should not put it up yet, because I need to secure it, because the way it looks, it just looks like it's very flimsy. But I've watched a few videos on it before I bought it, and people buy them and then they kind of just shore them up a little bit more so they don't fly away. So mine's still sitting on the ground out there that I haven't assembled yet. I don't need it yet, because it's not, even though it's chicken season. I went to Tractor Supply the other day, and they already have their chickens and ducks, and they already have like seeds and things. I almost got some potato seeds, but I'm like, I call myself V. That's what my family calls me. Don't bring on one more thing on you right now. You have got too much going on. You don't need to be worrying about like seeds right this moment. So I put them back, because I literally had them to go pay for them, and then I'm just like, let me put them back. But I will get those soon. But yeah, a potato, you're supposed to plant them soon though, right? Because potato doesn't like it when it's super, super hot. Somebody chime in and tell me about potatoes, because I think it's a good time to plant the potatoes. And someone was able to find compost for me, and so I'm going to be getting compost soon. So just a lot going on. Fortunately, I didn't get a compost yet, because this wind would probably be blowing it all over the place. But it's probably gonna rain. I don't think it's gonna rain. I think it's gonna snow or ice or something, because I started seeing the particles flying around. So I'll just be cozy inside. I have my little buddy heater on here, and last night I had it on. I have it on high right now because it's kind of chilly in here. But last night I heard it was like cough, like it's like making weird sounds with the flame, And I remember watching a video where you can clean it out. So I went in and I got my little cotton balls. Cotton, I don't know, I'm pointing. Well, that's where the cotton thing is. You can't see it, but I know that's where it is. My little cotton swabs. And I cleaned out the little hole thing. And it's perfect. It's fine now. So when I'm in here, I always make sure that either my tank is full, or if it's like close to not being full, I have an extra tank in here of propane. I don't love having two tanks in here, honestly. But I just wait to, I just make sure that I have a second one just in case this one runs out in the middle of the night, which happens every time it runs out. It's in the middle of the night. So good thing I kind of have that little little thing that I do, because I do not want to go outside to go, especially in this weather now. I'm not going outside to get another tank. And I keep the tanks in my car. My car is kind of like an extension of my little cabin here. So, but anyway, so my sheetrock guys were here, like I said, today, and they're close enough to where all the sheetrock will be hung. And then, like I said, it does need to get inspected, and then mudding and taping and so on. And as soon as that's done, I think I'm gonna go into my storage container. I'm gonna try to start painting myself, especially the bedroom, and because my focus now is to just make sure the bedroom and bathroom is ready so I can move into them. So I'm just gonna see if I can go ahead and paint the bedroom and bathroom. I'm gonna go to my storage container, and this is a big deal, guys. Just to plan this out is a big deal. For me to go to my storage container, I have to make a big trip of it now, and I have to make sure that my neighbor is available to help me, because in case I can't close it, somebody needs to be there to help me with that. So the plan is that I will get a truck, a U-Haul truck, and I will pull out all of my gardens, because my garden stuff are mostly like at the front. As soon as you open the trailer, that's where they are, fortunately. So I will pull those out of all the flooring material that I brought with me in there. And I have obviously my appliances. The problem is I think the appliances are closer to the front. So I'll try to get as much stuff as I'm gonna need to put into the cabin. And then that will lighten it up a little bit, because the problem right now is I can't just like move it onto my property, because I'd have to get like a 18-wheeler to do that, because it's too heavy right now. So the plan is to kind of get stuff off of it over time. And right now I need to get into there to get at least the wood flooring so we can get the floors done. So I have to plan that out and figure out how all of that is going to work out, and in a decent time frame as well, since I'm going through the inspection process as well too. So that is kind of like a little burden on me right now, like trying to coordinate that and figuring out, because my neighbor is working now, so he's not home most of the time. I could ask one of my other guys, but the last time when we went, when my neighbor, he had to use his Jeep to close the thing. Now I did buy some WD-40, because I'm thinking the hinges were just too rusty or whatever. So I bought some WD-40, so I'll try that the next time I go. But I just can't wait to get that container on my property, because not only am I paying $100 a month for that thing in storage, it's just difficult to think about if I need something, how many things in that thing that I could use right now, and I just do without them because it's just a big deal going in there. So that, okay, so when it comes to the bathroom, I need to hurry up and get that done as well. So the plan is to get the guys to waterproof it for me, to get it to where it's watertight, and then put in the curb, do all of the things to make it watertight. And then I'm thinking I might tile it myself. Now, tiling looks a little bit easier than it is actually in real life. I don't know how I'm gonna do this yet, but I want to go get the tile. The tiles that I like is at Floor and Decor, and it's like a 3-hour drive from here in Mesa. So I'm thinking I need to plan a day to go do that. And that's for the walls. I've not selected a floor tile yet. A part of me, well, I still need to do a floor tile for the shower, but a part of me is thinking I should just run the wood in there. Now I know people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, no, don't do that, but we do that quite a bit in the interior design industry. But it's usually in bathrooms that are not super heavily used. However, it's engineered wood, which is kind of engineered for, moisture, humidity, things like that. And the only reason why I'm thinking to do that is because I may have more than enough of the wood, and I could just do that instead of buying tile. And it's just me using the bathroom, so I know I'm not gonna be showering on the wood floor. So that's a consideration. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there yet, but I need to try to get the bathroom up and running fairly quickly. So I had this guy come out, measure for my he measured for tongue and groove on the walls and ceiling. He measured for the flooring, which he already quoted me on the flooring, but he also measured me for the kitchen cabinetry. He has not sent me a quote on that yet, but he quoted me on the tongue and groove and on the flooring. I couldn't afford a tongue and groove, so I said no to that. The flooring is doable, so I may have him do the flooring, but I have not gotten a quote on the kitchen cabinets, which, you know, kitchen cabinets have kind of dropped down to not so high on my list, but now I'm like, okay, so if to get a certificate of occupancy, you need to have a kitchen. So so now that's probably gonna have to happen sooner than later. I went to a local company here, but I have not met with them. I kind of gave them my little design, and they quoted it for me, which was actually much more reasonable than I thought, because I had gone to Home Depot when I first got here and had Home Depot quote them for me, and Home Depot came in at, I want to say it was $6,600. I hope I'm not lying. I think it was $6,600, but I can't remember if it was after $6,300. I can't remember if it was before or after it was Christmas time, and so they were doing like a discount, like a percentage off if I bought within a certain time frame, which I obviously didn't. So I don't remember if it was the result of the discount or before the discount, so please don't quote me on that. But anyway, the number I'm remembering now is $6,600. I decided I didn't want to go that route. I was just gonna have it custom built, and that's why I went with this guy to come measure, but haven't gotten his quote yet. So then I was just passing by this local company, and they have a showroom and everything. So I went in, and because Home Depot was gonna do just regular cabinets. Let me say that part. Just regular cabinets, but I really want open shelf everywhere. Like, I just have that image in my mind. So this company was going to be doing that for me. The local company that I went by their showroom, and they came in, I think, at like $8,000, a little bit more than I want to spend. But I feel like I can go and tweak it a little bit and get it reduced to because I mean it was more than that, and I even said, and I took off a certain material, a certain cabinet door style, and it reduced it by $2,500. So I feel like I can go back in and maybe just take out a couple little other things and bring it down to kind of where Home Depot was. Now, the Home Depot scenario, they were doing full cabinets with doors everywhere. This drawers. I was doing a lot of drawers because I hate cabinet doors. Me personally, when I'm storing stuff, I prefer drawers, especially in kitchens, like drawers all the way. And this company, it's open shelves mostly. I mean, there are a couple of drawers, and then where the sink is a door. So kind of is like less material, and they're still a little bit more than Home Depot. But so I'm still weighing my options in that regard. All right, my nose is freezing, my fingertips are freezing, but I came out here to drive some of my anchors before it gets windier. So I've driven one. Sorry for the heavy breathing, but I've been working hard this morning. 2, 3, 4. So I've driven 4. So I have 8 of them. So right now I'm just worried about like 3 on each side. This one, my GC started to drive for me and he ran into rocks, so he kind of abandoned everything and said he'd do it another time. But I realized that this is my investment, this is my thing. So this morning I got up and said, V, which is what people call me, my family calls me, come out here and do what you can. And when I drove the first one, I was so shocked. I was just like, oh my gosh, let me go get more. So this one I'm going to pull it back up and just place it somewhere else. Because what I'm finding is you may run into rock right there, but like just moving it over a few inches, you don't get rock. So I'm going to turn this off right now so I can get back to it. These ones are super hard, so I'm running into rocks here, so I may have to drill holes first. See how that goes. All right, so I got 5 in, and I think it's 10 of them because I have 3 more left, and we have 7 here. So 10 came in the package that I bought. I don't remember stuff. I literally bought those things a couple weeks ago and forgot how many I ordered. But I'm gonna maybe rest up a little bit, and if it's not yet windy, I'll come back and attack these 2, and then I'm gonna try to get one more over there because we have one area that's still missing one. So I'm gonna rest up a little bit and regain some strength and come back stronger. All right, sorry if the camera is moving a little bit funny, but Let me see if I can straighten it up a little bit. My hands are like shaking right now a little bit too, but and forgive any wind sound. I came out here to drive my anchors. I really didn't plan on recording. I know I say that a lot, but it's the reality of life. So I think it's salvageable. The thing is, I have to leave it there. There's no point in standing it up. First of all, if it's on the side like that, I can't move it myself. If I stand it up, I can move it because I can just shimmy it until I get it where I want it to go, because I did that yesterday. So I don't want to stand it up though, because then the wind has more access to it. So I left it there. And so in my mind, if it survives the rest of the wind that's coming tonight and the rest of the week, if it survives it, I'll try to salvage, because I have all the parts to it, and try to salvage it and anchor it down. If it blows away, then it just wasn't meant to be. I'm not gonna cry over it. I really am sad that it happened, and I wish I'd anchored it down a little bit better. But honestly, it seems like I'm not the only one who underestimated this wind. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk, but my lips are frozen. Like literally, my lips are hardly moving. That's how cold it is out here. It's not even that cold. I think it's just like my fingers and my lips just aren't moving for some reason. You can hear it in the way I talk. But I wish I'd anchored it a little bit better. But I underestimated the wind. I mean, I knew about the wind. That's why we anchored it by the trees, thinking that would be some protection. But man, that wind just picked that thing up like like it was nobody's business. And so, like I said, I'll try to salvage it if it remains intact. But all my little bottles and jugs that I was saving for my gardening stuff, all of it is blown away. And I mean, it's gone, because I went all the way down there looking for them. I only saw one, but it was in on a neighbor's property, and so nobody lives there, I don't think. And so I'm not going over there. So you know me, I'm scared to go down there, much less to go into somebody else's property. So there goes all my jugs. So and all these things, I just kind of weighed them down with I have the post driver thing here. Hopefully nothing happens to it, because it's not mine, I borrowed it. And then everything else I held down with as much as I could. So yeah. So I'm doing a little study here of Numbers 20. I just read a post from someone who was just kind of sharing another perspective of the story here in Numbers 20, where Moses, where the people were complaining about not having water to drink, and they were rebuking Moses and Aaron and saying that he brought them there to die. And so Yah heard them, and Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the rod and gather the assembly together, you and Aaron your brother, and speak ye to the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth the water, and you shall bring forth to them water out of the rock. So you shall give the assembly and their beasts drink." And Moses took and Moses took the rod from before Yahweh, as he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock. I have to turn the phone, I'm sorry. Okay, Moses took the rod from before Yahweh, as he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock. And he said to them, "Hear now, ye rebels, must he fetch you water out of this rock?" And Moses lifted up his hand, and with his rod he smote the rock twice, and the water came out abundantly, and the assembly drank, and their beasts also. And Yahweh spoke to Moses and Aaron, "Because ye believed me not, to sanctify me in the eyes of the children of Yasharel, therefore ye shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them." So they did not do it according to the way Yah wanted them. Moses did it kind of out of anger, and it made it look like he was the one who caused the water to come out of the rock and not Yah. So Yah wanted this to be for his glory, and the way Moses did it was not. And it made it look like he was the one who caused the water to come out of the rock. And so the consequence of that was Moses did not see the promised land. And Moses and Aaron. And so I'm just reading this morning after reading somebody else's perspective on it. And it's just interesting to see that this is kind of how we sometimes, I know I'm guilty of it, where Yah will lead me to doing something, give me strict instructions of what to do, and then I go off and do it. So I'm kind of obedient, but then I do it my own way, and then I take the glory for it. And so what I don't realize that there are consequences for that. And sometimes facing the consequences is a tough part. So that's why when we obey Yah, we obey Him fully. We go according to His word, line by line, every word. This is why this whole Bible is important and not just a part of it, because He wants us to follow every single word that He instructed us.